Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S. Getting in touch with my feminine side. I've got a pink mug, so you probably noticed. Anyway, obviously I'm back here with another football-related video. And as I mentioned in my previous video, in my last video, I didn't do it in list form that time, but I thought it'd be easier to do it in list form because I thought oftentimes I wonder if I forget things or I stumble upon my words. So like it's easier for me to do things in lists and like things that remind me of things. So this is another one of my videos in this form. But yeah, I was wondering what to call the title of the video or whatever. But as I mentioned in my previous video, it's like a month to on the 17th of March, it's Italy's Unification Day. So as Juventus were also playing today, I thought I'd do a few videos about Italian football, especially Juventus. And I support all Italian teams, so pretty much equally. So I'd love to see them all do well. What's my thought? Sorry. Yeah, I support all Italian teams, and I'd love to see them support each other when they play against non-Italian teams. So, yeah, so I thought I'd cover some of my thoughts about Juventus, like what I think Juventus should do, or what I'd love to see Juventus do, or my dreams just generally for Juventus, and as well as Italian football generally. Yeah, I can't think of much else to say for the intro. So anyway, here goes. So number one. Unfortunately, today Juventus lost 2-1. They were 2-0 down at that point, so at least they got a goal back, which is something a bit positive. But obviously, there's not much I can do to affect the result, but it is the way it is, something out of my control, obviously. But I thought I'd love to make videos like this in the future. Like I often mention, like, if I can monetize videos like this, then I'd love to like invest in things like stadiums for Juventus and things like that, or Italian football generally. But yeah, so unfortunately Juventus lost today, but I hope that they will be able to come back stronger and hopefully beat Porto in the second leg and recover. So hopefully, like, I'll share videos about great comebacks. So hopefully that will inspire, like, share it with the Juventus pages or whatever, the Juventus channel on YouTube. So hopefully that will inspire them to have the confidence to come back and be stronger. But yeah, so as I say, unfortunately it wasn't as good today, but it's not quite over yet, obviously, the tie, but hopefully they'll do better. Number two, I can't really imagine them winning, as I talked about excuse me, in my last video, and I hope I don't jinx it again. But again, as I mentioned in my last video, sorry, that I hope I don't jinx it, but I'd love to see Juventus win as many trophies as possible, basically. Maybe I shouldn't have an arbitrary figure or whatever, but I'd love to see Juventus, if I use the term right, arbitrary figure, but I'd love to see Juventus winning as many trophies as possible. It'd be great to see if them win like 6 trophies in a season. Like, I think that's all the trophies available to them. But yeah, so hopefully win at least as many as possible, and that would cover things like the wages for players like Ronaldo. And I'd love to see it, as I said before, like Juventus having players like Messi as well brought in to work with Ronaldo as well. I think that'd be an amazing team. I'd love to see like a dream team. Number 3 on that note, as I say, I'd love to see, I know I mentioned before, like, as I say, I'd love to see Juventus win as many trophies as possible, but I know I mentioned before, like, how Juventus, apparently Juventus means youth in Italy, in Latin. So I think that Juventus really should work to have the best youth setup already in the world. But another thing is, I'd love to see Juventus have academies, as I say, in all possible countries, including for African Americans, Native Americans, Indigenous people from Australasia, and all over the world. As I say, what I call the 4, like Indigenous people from Africa, Australasia, the Americas, and Asia, and also like Latin Americans, and also possibly in Ireland, and basically all around the world, including here in the UK, or obviously in Italy itself. And I think that at least half the players should be Italian players. Another thing I was going to say is that I think I forgot to say in the intro was that apparently Juventus have contributed the most players to the national team, to the Italian national team as well. Although there are many players from France and other parts of the world, Portugal and Brazil, whatever. They've contributed the most apparently in history to the national team. And I think it'd be great if they could produce even more great young players from around the world, but especially from Italy. And again, like, I think half the academy members should be Italian. I think it'd be great as well if Juventus and other Italian teams did similar stuff, and like had academies in China and India, and also went over to China and India and practiced playing football with the younger people there as well. Number 4, I'd love to see Juventus win as many trophies as possible. I think to be seen as a truly great team, because Juventus have won so much domestically, like many leagues, cups, and things like that. but they've not won many like Champions Leagues or World Club Cups or stuff like that. I don't know if they've ever won the World Club Cup. I think they won it before it became the World Club Cup, but I don't know if that really counts as being as the same sort of thing. But it would be great to see Juventus, I think, winning the World Club Cup. I'd love to see Italian teams that generally anyway, but I think Juventus might be in the best position to do so, and I think it'd be amazing to see them. And I think like the sponsors of Juventus should do all they can to bring like Messi, maybe Mbappe, and other players like that to complement Ronaldo. I think that'd be pretty amazing. Like the sponsors hopefully could fund that sort of stuff. Then it'd be great to see. Hopefully they'd get their money back as well. So obviously it's got to be worth it for them. And number 5, again, I think it would be good to have a balance between bringing in some of those players like Messi or players like that, Mbappe or players like that, came from France and Brazil and all over the world. Obviously Argentina, Portugal, and places like that. But I think the other thing is, again, I still think it would be good to have some of those younger players coming through. And I think Juventus haven't really developed enough young players, if I'm correct. So I'd love to see more players from the academy actually make it. I think that's will be the challenge for Juventus. Like the challenge they should take on, I think, within the next 5 to 10 years is like have more players from the academies making it, from the Juventus academy to make it, especially playing for Juventus, and maybe some of them are being sold on to other teams. Like at least they'll make some of the money back. But obviously it's a challenge to sort of make sure those players actually make it pro as well. Number 6, I'd love to see Italian teams like Juventus have partnerships with Celtic. As a fan of both Celtic and Italian football, I'd love to see like Celtic and Juventus, especially at youth level, like training together, and again other Italian teams as well, like training together at youth level, practicing together, and like helping each other to develop as well. So having as many practice matches, especially for youth level as well. Number 7, I'd love to see Italians practicing for at least an hour a day in football, and like prioritizing football as one of their top priorities in life. So I think it'd be great to like see them practicing as much as possible, and really putting their heart into football and like falling in love with football again. Number 8, again, I'd love to see that passion, Italians falling in love with football again, football generally, and especially obviously their local teams and the national team as well. Number 9, I'd love to see Juventus honoured for producing the most Italian players. Like I think whichever club produces the most Italian players, I think should be honoured. And number 10, again, I think that Juventus, as it means youth in Latin, should be producing the best young players. And I think that should be their goal or one of their goals, obviously, to transfer that into trophies. But I think they should be like proud to produce the most young players again, to make it pro, and to work on producing those young players to become professional in their academies. And I'd love to come up with ideas for like fundraising of how Juventus and other Italian clubs could fundraise to have all these academies around the world. And hopefully that will come back in a positive way. Hopefully they'll be rewarded by obviously winning more trophies and getting that money back. So anyway, I hope this made sense, and hope someone out there enjoyed it, and I'm out. Peace and love.